2024. Good morning, everybody. It's June 17th, 2024, and we welcome you to our miracle call. Here's a weekly call that you can come to yourself and bring your guests, because we're going to say some testimonials that are going to knock your socks off. Everybody's welcome to do that. We give you like a 30-second time frame up to 1 minute. We want to be brief, we want to be compliant, and we want to be done. And the compliant part means we do not name diseases. Please, only your symptoms, how it was before you used a patch, and then how it is now. That's the big, cool part to tell us. Okay, so let's see, what else do I want to tell you? Be compliant, be courteous, because there's going to be a lot of people on the call. And so the idea is to raise your hand. There's a little button at the bottom of your screen where you can raise your hand, and I'll do my best to call your name in the order that I see it. I'd like you to hold your hand up until you're done speaking, and then please try to remember to bring your hand back down and mute yourself. Okay? So let's get rolling. Good morning, Diane. Unmute, girl.
Good morning. I got
Hi.
it. How are you? You look great as usual.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I noticed last week I made a pizza for dinner, and all of the time that you spend standing and cooking, I noticed, hey, my back doesn't ache anymore. For like the longest time, a couple of years at least, my back would just ache from standing and cooking for a while, cleaning up the kitchen, etc. And I literally had no trace of pain at all. And it was very, very nice.
Isn't it cool that you noticed it? Sometimes we're so used to whatever is our discomfort that when it goes away or is subsiding, we don't even notice it. And sometimes other people notice our changes before we do. So again, welcome to all the brand new people that are just taking a look at LifeWave. We are so happy that you're here and that somebody cared enough about you to invite you. The first 15 minutes of our call will be dedicated to the big daddy of them all, the X39. So thank you so much, and Dolly's next.
Yes, yesterday I put something in a 400-degree oven, and it had a handle on it. So then I took it out, of course, with the nice little pot holder, and set it on the stove. And then I had to do something, so I went back to check if it was done or whatever. And I put my hand on the handle.
Ooh.
And just, oh my gosh. Well, this is my hand, and this is my other hand. There's no redness. And you know how when you burn yourself, your skin gets stiff and it doesn't want to bend or anything? There's absolutely nothing to indicate that I put my hand on a 400-degree handle. And I immediately grabbed behind my neck and took the X39 and put it on there. I didn't care where I put it, just as long as it was there. And I'm still amazed, absolutely amazed. But you know what? I'm going to tell my husband it still hurts.
So Dolly, how long have you been using X39?
Since March. So it's what, 4 or 5 months?
Yeah.
And we both, my husband and I'm 79 and he's 86 or 7, I can't remember. And we started using the X39 with the X49 because as you get older, your muscles need the extra help. So yeah, but I'm just truly, truly amazed. See, again?
Yeah, that's fabulous. I'm with
Yes.
you on the X39 and that other one that we're not supposed to mention yet, but
I'm
doing
sorry.
both too every day. No, that's cool. I think it's a great performance bundle. Everybody should know about it. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Dolly. John, please.
Yeah, hi, Sanchar. I just wanted to give my ongoing success story. I've been using the X39 for about 18 months now. And when I first started it, because I've always been, as much as I can, keeping taking care of myself in such a way that, I'm always aware that I got to do good things for myself if I want to, live self-care at the very best that I possibly can, because I think that's one of our foundational things. And so I wasn't sure what the X39 could do. What it was is energy for me. It was added energy, and it gets better every day. Another thing is cognitive function. My clarity and my mind has been really sharpened, and I can feel it. And the sleep is just, I sleep so solidly. And now my next step on that is just being very grateful for the X39 and what it can do and what it does do for people who have a discipline to use it every day, who want to just keep getting better at self-care and just keep, it's like I've repeated many times, it's amazing that it's cumulative. It just adds on to your everything I just mentioned. But I've taken it to a point where I have no aches and pains. I have no medication. I don't take any medications. Being 74 years old, I've got so much freaking energy, and I attribute it to the hook of LifeWave and what it stands for.
And of course, there's always that hydration part that we want to throw in there, right? Drink a bunch of water, everybody. That's what's going to help flush everything through and get everything going. We want our chi moving. And so, yeah, you and I are just a little bit younger in chronological age than Dolly. We're 3 weeks apart, you guys. I just turned 75 last week, and you're about to turn 75. Isn't that the coolest? And I think we're all looking pretty darn good. So thanks so much. And Dolly, I bet you're feeling a bunch younger too, right? Nodding.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
In fact, I hurt my knee in college, and I had to have surgery on it right away. But then as the years went by, I didn't want to have a replacement or stuff like that. Well, finally, in order to move at all, I had to have a replacement. So I have a knee replacement in my right knee. But since I've been on the X39, I can stop and pivot, which I couldn't before. And I can take little running steps. I probably look like a little chihuahua or something, but I can take little running steps that I haven't been able to do since college. It's just wonderful.
It's
Absolutely
phenomenal. It
wonderful.
seems like a miracle, you guys. But guess what? It's all science. Very
Yes.
science-based company. 20 years worth. Okay. Well, who's going to raise their hand? Otherwise, you're going to hear from me. Come on, raise a hand. Oh, I see Jen. Oh, Jen first, then Diane.
Okay. I'm happy to share. I was just looking for the face thing on the bottom and I couldn't find it. So thank you for seeing that. I had a major thing happen, and I don't think this group has heard it. I work with Michael Jaco, and we were invited out on a boat thing experience, a pontoon boat experience in Tampa Bay about 3 weeks ago. And I have my entire life, I have always gotten boat sick, air sick, car sick, blah, 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 all of it, not fun. So I travel with these bands, and I have scopamine and I have Dramamine in my closet and all that stuff. Well, the last year that I've been flying up to see my grands in Washington area, DC, I wasn't getting sick when the plane got bouncy. And I thought, that's weird. So I thought, okay, quietly, I said, I'm going to try something. And I went out on that boat, and we went from Bradenton. It was with Harris, by the way, it was one of his boats, but went from Bradenton to Anna Maria Island, all the way back through, it was like Tampa Bay area, 5 hours. And it was the roughest water I've ever been on.
Oh,
Up and down. And I was like shocked. I will tell you, I drank sparkling water and nothing else. No, didn't have a drink before, during, or after there was alcohol. But I had sandwiches and I had the sparkling water. And I was good for those 5 hours. And at the end of it, I turned to Michael and I said, Michael, I know you're a Navy SEAL, and I know you probably wouldn't understand this, but I've gotten sick all of my life. I felt fantastic. I felt like I'd been laying out in the sun. Fine. I felt fantastic. I'm serious. And I was shocked. I really was. Because I've been on the patches for 2 years, over 2 years now. And so obviously they did something, the stem cells in my ears, which were probably what made me go out of balance and throw up, that has changed. And I don't know how you ever figure that out, but I know that I don't get boat sick or air sick right now. So that's something to tell people for the long haul. That's it. I
Long
wanted,
haul. That's a good thing that you mentioned that. We love people to stay consistent, wear a new patch every day, every day. And you guys, some of you know my story, so I'm gonna say it really fast. Because I was consistent 2 years into it, I began to be able to smell. I could never smell my whole life. That's a cool thing. Thank you so much for that one, Jen. Okay, I think Diane is next, then Jerry, then Christina.
My friend has been using X39 for about 6 months now, and she had that terrible pain that goes from your hip down your leg, and it was horrible. And she had to quit her job and go on disability. It was so bad.
Mm.
It disappeared in 2 months. Completely gone. It's just gone,
Pretty amazing stuff, don't you think?
I think.
Thank you so much, Diane. And Jerry.
Hi, Sanchar. Can't come on camera. I'm up in the Smoky Mountains and can't really get everything as if maybe some of you noticed. I couldn't even unmute for 10 minutes, but my stories are consistency long haul. I'm going to ditto both our previous speakers because I could not even ride in the back seat of a car since I was a little kid. And I too, like Jen, was on Harris's boat and had no problems. And when I got back, there was a few of us. My husband was looking to see how was I, and he says, "Are you okay?" I says, "I'm fine." And well, Janet Kiefer was with me, and she had no idea about my condition because she would not even have said, "Let's go." And I said, "No, I'm fine." And since then, I've been on probably 3 boat rides and haven't had a problem, and other vehicle type situations have not. I'm going to ditto on the pain down your left leg. Yes, took 3 months. I could not even sit down. And I'm fine and have not had a problem since. And I'm going to go one more after 3 years of wearing the patches. I looked like I was very, very old. I could not get up or down without the use of a table and somebody helping me. And all of a sudden, I had a situation where I had to get on my knees and didn't know what to do. And I started to crawl around, and I am fine. I have even been down on my knees painting my baseboards in my house. So just want to give those 3 out for our beautiful X39. Just stay with it and be consistent.
Absolutely correct. Thank you so much, Jerry, for your stories. We really appreciate you. And Jerry is another host of the Miracle Call, so watch for her another day. All right, Christina.
I'm here. I wanted to tell you guys my story. You guys are all talking about, on them a long time. The other day I have had allergies my whole life. Hay fever, cats, dogs, horses, you name it, always sick. I love the spring. It's my favorite, but I'm always sick in the spring. Well, this year I went into a barn and went petting horses, petting the dogs, the cats. I was in there 2 hours with my grandkids, and I came out with no allergies. I've been on the patches 3 years now. I'm just amazed. I'm so excited. I don't have any allergies.
That is huge. And a lot of people have that issue. So you're kind of glad you stuck with it, right?
Well, just a little bit.
Consistency. It's the name of this game. Thank you so much, Christina.
You're welcome.
All right, Susan, you're on.
Good morning. And I want to give a little shout out to my good friend Jerry, and I can testify to her spunkiness and just being incredible. My story is this. My handyman started working with me, and like on day 2, he commented on a problem he's been having where you have numbness in your feet and pain that runs up your legs. but more associated with blood sugar problems. And so, of course, I patched him. And a couple hours later, he said, "Oh my goodness, it doesn't feel like I'm walking on marbles and the pain is gone." And so I gave him some samples and he has become a PC Plus customer. And when he showed up last week, and he's been on them now about 5 weeks, he said, "Susan, I feel like a teenager." And by the way, he's 67. He said, "I bounced out of bed this morning before coffee." I mean, he said, "That's the only way I can describe it. Thank you, thank you, thank you." So I just want to say to everybody, you know, they are so obviously, we're all hearing it, life changing. And I just really thank God that he brought LifeWave and this beautiful community that we're all in into my life. Thank you.
Thank you. And we are all so grateful to David Schmidt for hanging in there and creating all these patches over all these years. It wasn't until 2019 that we even had X39. And so I want to thank you too for mentioning the gentleman's age. And what I've heard is you might want to stay consistently wearing your X39. Like for every decade that you are, say 60, you sure want to try this consistently for at least 6 months. We have people in their 90s that are getting better and can't believe it. So yeah, I'm going to really stress that consistency thing. Okay. Who do we have?
Sunshine, can I just add in real quick, because you said that about people in their 90s. My dad started on the patches at 91, and within 7 months, he reversed diabetes and taking blood pressure medication. And his doctors continued to be amazed at how his labs improved and kept asking, "What are you doing?" So yeah, you're exactly right. They're working. Age does not matter. Yes.
Age does not matter. And it doesn't matter how old the person is that we introduce this to either, as long as they can communicate with us. You know, what if the child has an issue, right? If they can talk to us, it's time to patch them if they have some kind of issue. Okay, let's move on. Carolyn, please. Ready for you, Carolyn?
Good morning, friends.
Morning.
Oh my goodness, I have a neighbor who had a brain issue 5 years ago, and his wife built one of those ramps that takes up his whole yard, and I befriended him about the patches, and he started wearing X49 about 2 months ago, but he got really bummed out and he stopped wearing them, so I had to convince him in my gentle way to ask him to reconsider and, you know, all of that. And so he's been wearing them again, and he wears Eon at night also. So, and he wears a brace on the bottom of one of his feet because he has such a walking issue on the whole left side of his body. And he uses the ramp to hold himself and walk along it.
Wow.
And about 6 weeks later, after wearing X49, he took 3 unaided steps inside his house. And then yesterday, I saw him, and his goal is to walk with me one day because he sees me walking all the time. And yesterday, he got off the ramp and walked on the grass. And I have to tell you, this is so huge for him because his attitude can just go downhill from being so confined to his ramp. And so he got to walk. I saw the trail in the grass. He was walking back and forth. And I'm telling you, to have this happen in less than 2 months is outrageously cool. And I'm just so grateful for these patches. And today's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to you, another Gemini lady.
Yes, this is what 72 looks like, Gagan.
Woohoo! And I feel about 40. How about you?
Yes, I have said that before.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Well, thank you for sharing that story. You know, the walking thing is huge for a person that's never, or for a long, long time, has not had the ability to walk with, you know, unaided. So I guess what I would say is we offer hope to people. So just hang in there, be consistent, use your patches every day, because the body is working to come back into balance with itself. And we have the patches to aid that. So we are past the quarter after hour, so we can mention other patches. Is there anybody else that'd like to tell a story? Oh, Kamei, there you go.
Good morning, everybody. I did a presentation for one of my distributors this past weekend on a home party, and she had several shares, and I want to give a couple of them to you. Her husband has been on insulin and metformin for blood sugar issues for the past 6 years. He's been on the patches since October, and he has not had to use insulin for the past 5 weeks. He took himself off of them, which she's told him not to do that, but he went to his endocrinologist last week, and they've also reduced the metformin, and the endocrinologist gave him the heads up with it. He was thrilled that he was able to get off of insulin.
And how old is this gentleman?
I'd say he's about 66, 67. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
They just retired, so I think they're mid-60s. She had another lady that had 2 traumatic brain injuries, and he's only been using X39. But this other lady has had 2 traumatic brain injuries, and she has terrible time focusing. You know, her brain just goes all over the place. She's been using the patches for about 3 months, and her brother told her, he said, Joy, because typically she'll say to people, or say to herself, focus, 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 Joy, you know, trying to pull herself back. He said, Joy, you're not saying focus as much. And that she and I were together about 5 hours, and I think she said focus twice. She's so thrilled because it's making such a difference in her life.
It could just bring a person to tears, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
changes that we are observing.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Kamei. And how about you, Tina? Can you unmute, please?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Awesome, awesome. I'm sorry my video's not working, but I am excited because this early call is occurring. I'm here in London for the Health Optimization Summit, so 4 o'clock our time. But I needed to share many, many miracles, what we perceive as miracles, but it's the state of the body in the last few years since using these. But I do want to share one that's happened fairly recently. And I was working with a friend and had shared about the patches. Actually talking about them with someone I was working with. And she said, well, my friend is due to have a kidney transplant. She's going in the hospital on Monday to get the stent put in, and other conditions existing in her body. That was Friday that she'd scheduled a meeting with us. And I just explained to her friend what was happening and about the patches, how they work, and how we just had learned about a group, an 83-year-old gal in our group that was able to reverse her kidney issues within a few months, and she's off dialysis. And so she was excited and intrigued, but nonetheless, she went in for the surgery that Monday morning because for years this has been in the process. She went in for the surgery. When she came home, she reached out and she said, I would like to start using these. So that's what she did. They've stopped moving forward with this transplantation. Her nephrologist, her kidney doctor, each month, he's looking at her numbers, he's watching her, and he's astounded. And he's cheering her on, just saying, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. She's at about month 5, and she's tickled. And happy birthday, Geminis, and I love you all.
Thanks so much, Tina. And that is an important point. It's always good to, you know, consult with your medical physician. However, they probably don't even know about these. So sometimes it's a good thing to just even have your patch on and your doctor goes, what's this? And then you get to say, oh, well, there's these non-transdermal. How about I send you a video? And suddenly you may even have a doctor on your team. Happens all the time. We have more health practitioners, you guys. Well, we're light workers. And since this is light therapy, it makes sense, right? Okay, do we have another hand up? Waiting. So last night I was on the Connie Zoom call and, you know, we have 6, 7 health practitioners on that call. And I listened to Dr. Ackland one more time and Dr. Lewin. They both agree that if you have the ringing in the ears, just put a X39 back here and energy enhancers right here. And that's what I'm doing right now. Who's next? Pamela.
Well, I just have to say that I am so grateful for these patches because the other day I was walking into the store and accidentally, or actually ran into the store and it really hurt. So I'm really black and blue. And immediately I thought about I stuck my patch right back on it and I've been patching it and I can't believe how fast it's like turning and it doesn't hurt. Like I thought, I mean, it was really bad. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got
Yeah, you can see it. Yep.
So I did an X39 and I've been using also Eon. I can do that now that we're using all the patches. So I'm very happy about that. I'm happy that I know about the patches.
It's true. We get to use them in ways we wouldn't have even thought of. It's like, oh, I wonder if the patch will work here. And it does. Oh my. Thank you so much, Pamela. Okay, how about you, Kate?
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm going to join the consistency train and support that thought. I have been on the patches for just over 2 years. I've had some really big things happen. And one of the things I wanted from day one was to awaken my thyroid. And in the last few months, I have been able to reduce the amount of prescription medicine to different levels. And now everything is coming back into harmony. Even A1C, cholesterol levels, triglycerides, things are normalizing. And it is such a relief to see it finally happen for me too. Thank you, X39.
We're so
and
happy.
49.
So happy for you, Kate. This is good stuff. I mean, look at there's like almost 125 people on a call that in Pacific time is 8 a.m. and all these folks decide to just show up. I wonder why. Seems like there's some miracles going on. It's really fun, you guys.
We can't stay away.
And I know it's addicting. Christine, have you spoken or are you about to speak?
I am about to speak.
Okay.
I was not watching you when you mentioned where to put the patches for the ringing in the ears. You said that you use X39, but you also said energy enhancer. Could you tell me again? And I am looking at you now so that I.
Okay, so actually I've heard Dr. Tom say you could try different things. That's the other cool thing about our patches. It's kind of experimental. We're in charge of our bodies, so we get to put the patches wherever we want. We go by what the health practitioners tell us, and Dr. Ackland has even said sometimes moving a patch 1/4 of an inch, in any direction could change your outcome. If you're not happy with the outcome, move it just a little bit. So what I heard yesterday that I'm experimenting with right now is an X39 on the mastoid, that's the bone behind the ear. And then I have my energy enhancers in that indentation just under the clavicle. So that can be used for one's energy, but apparently in conjunction with the X39 behind the ear. Suddenly, Who knows? I won't say suddenly because mine's been hanging on for quite a while, but I'm looking forward to a big change soon. Thank you so much for the question.
Yeah, thank you
Sunshower, I
again.
just spotlighted you so you can show again so everyone can see where on your shoulder area that you put the
Yeah,
energy.
sure. I guess I'll have to kind of stand up a bit. Can you see that I have them here and here? It's just under my clavicle, your collarbone, a little bit away from midsection. You actually can use the energy enhancers if you have a cough and you want to put them closer to your midsection, like just a couple of inches in on both sides. But right now I have them out here in that indentation right here. And then I have my X39 behind my ear right here. Hope that helps. Okay, we are just about ready to close this shop up. If you guys can talk for like 15 seconds each, let's go for it. Okay, Ms. Colgan.
Hi, just real quick, just the pressures in your heart. I've actually gotten off of that medication. So that's a blessing. I had something that basically where they take your heart out and put a new heart in. So I was on many medications, but I've gotten off of, since I've been doing the X39 and X49 and Eon, I've gotten off of 3 of my medications. One of them was rejection medication, and the other 2 were other medications that have to do with your heart. So just sharing that these patches are amazing, and I couldn't have done it without the patches, getting off all these medications. And that was my goal. That was my why, to get off medications.
Fabulous story. What's your first name?
I'm sorry, it's Leslie.
Hi, Leslie. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
and I've got one patch on right now. I've got the carnosine on for my eyesight. I'm trying to get my eyesight back. I have eyesight issues. So
And sometimes carnosine is put on an eye mask at night or by the temples.
yeah, and yeah, I do that too. So
Oh, okay, cool. Just for everybody else's sake. Kame, one more.
Yes, I wanted to give kudos to Energy Enhancer, you know, how it supports the other patches. And last night, I, for some reason, had body aches all over, kind of like I had the flu and chills and a fever. And so I had glutathione and X39 on, and Dr. Annabelle said add energy enhancers. So I put them on the bottoms of my feet, and it helped a little, but I had been using energy enhancers for occasionally having leg movements. So I did it on my inside of my ankles, reversed, the white on the left and the tan on the right, and it took the pain away.
Oh, so you reversed them?
I reversed them. That was all I had found for restless legs, and it's reversed on the inside of the ankles.
Oh, that's very interesting. I wonder if you have reverse polarity.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. That was just what this particular protocol called for, so I did it.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Another new thing I learned. I've been around the block with Lifeway 4 years and just learned something new, you guys. So I think we'll call this a wrap. What a wonderful call with, 125 people on. It's so early on a Monday morning. You could be doing anything else, but we thank you so much for attending this miracle call. And usually we have a call in the evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And that's the community updates and training, but we're not going to have that. And we're not going to have, if I'm right, Liz, we will not be having our biz chat, which is on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Yes, we will.
We will have that.
All other calls will be taking place this week.
Oh, goody, goody. So
other than that director call.
Okay, so just the one that we usually have tonight. And the reason for that is because our fearless leaders, excuse me, Robin and Gregory are traveling and they lead these calls. So guess what? We have to kind of manage ourselves with the help of Liz Hodges. Yay, Liz. Let's unmute everybody and say goodbye for now and see you next week.
Goodbye,
See you
Sunshine.
next
Thank you so
week.
much.
Nice
Bye,
job,
Sunshine.
Sunshower.
Thank you.
Great
Good
job,
Sunshine.
Have a great
Thank you.
day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you,
X39 day.
everyone.
Everybody, thank
Great
you.
call,
Sunflower.
everybody.
Great call.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
great
Thanks,
call.
everybody, for
Happy
your
birthday,
wonderful
Carolyn.
Great call.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
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 Much love. Much love.
Bye.
Thank you.